Hello everyone, this is Jay Tolmar, and we are ready for another race in just a few seconds. I hope you're all having a wonderful evening. As I mentioned, I'm Jay Tolmar. I'm joined today by Derek GNC on comms. How are you doing, Derek? I'm pretty good, but a little sleepy. We've got Creodor versus unown47 ready to race for us. We're going to let them go in just a second. So everyone knows that the PK Scramble quote annual unquote tournament is our danger bracket. One of these runners is going to be going home, except they're actually both at their houses right now, I assume, but you know what I mean. So I'm going to go ahead and drop the gate and let them start, and we should be seeing a race shortly.
I am excited. Let's start with the flag set for this race.
Yeah, go for it.
We got race percent, which is 4 sanctuaries. We do have the 2 alternates as well, which does mean we have the option of 5 sanctuaries and magic camp, or 6 to finish out the scene. We do have max item level 70 with skill possible, so we're not going to do super good super early. There are no elements in this, so we're going to rely solely on combat and base models, as well as the biggest one, 100% generated enemy. There will not be a vanilla enemy, sorry. Looks like they are taking off. They're going to do the buzz check, which should give them a nice warp. And it was Foresight.
Sorry to anyone who is hearing quiet commentary. There was a tech issue, as everyone has come to expect.
Gotta love tech issues, right?
There's been so many. Hopefully, I'll have fewer of them next time that I am doing the restreaming. So, as Derek mentioned, this is 100% generated enemies. The way that generated enemies works is it's going to pick a random valid enemy as a base. It's going to use its stats for like HP to level ratio and all that statistical stuff, and then it's going to use kind of a hard-coded list of enemy themes. So does it have a big mouth? Is it an animal? Is it stinky? That sort of stuff. And it's going to look at all of that, and it's going to pick a bunch of appropriate actions for it to have in its attack script. How mean that attack script's going to be is going to depend on how deep into the seed it is. It is designed to give you, these on-it animal replacements are going to be wasted turns and bash attacks. Most early enemies are going to just be bashes and equivalent, but then as you get later into the game, you're going to start seeing those psychic attacks and multi-hitting things, poison, all that other really mean stuff that you expect in later Earthbound enemies. Yes, Aureliax, is it stinky? Really is one of the things in the big list, because it is a very useful concept when you're trying to categorize Earthbound enemies.
There you go. We do have police badge on the Meteor as well as Lost Underworld at the statues, so we could be seeing an early sank possibly. But we'll definitely be using that police badge sooner rather than later.
Yeah, police badge gets you to Tucson. Tucson's got a bunch of stuff in it and 2 different towns that you can get to from it.
There you go.
I actually missed what the first teleport check was. Did you see what it is?
It was Foresight.
Foresight. Oh, Foresight's got a lot of stuff in it. So we actually have many ways to read already. 2 grand to get the 5 bucks. And as you mentioned, a sanctuary. See shack in the library.
It's not bad. Also, JB, excellent usage of the original marketing for Earthbound. This game stinks. Which might have explained why it didn't sell well.
Yeah, not really a great choice of marketing campaign. Even though, of course, now all Earthbound fans ironically love it because it is such a product of its time.
Agreed. I always explain it as this is weirdly a nostalgic game, even if you did not specifically grow up in the 90s.
Yeah, since it is partially a parody of RPG tropes, and those tropes ended up invading all other games over time, it really does have being a parody of stuff that ended up happening even after it came out. gives it kind of a weird, timeless quality.
Yeah. We did have a nice Master Belch on creodor's side, as well as Mr. Car Painter.
I saw that Master Belch was calling for caterpillars, which is normally very scary, but on these settings, because it is generating their attack scripts, it might not all be fire.
Fair. Looks like Unknown is going up for Giant Step, so that is an excellent choice right there. That'll get them a single sank, and the Mayor has the diamond. So that's another 3 option, should they want. Or, yeah, that's another 3 option. Now, one thing that casual players of the game might not realize is that if you go back in the arcade and then back out to Frankie, he'll give you a full heal. That is something I did not realize till trying Boogie Percent, because I had never been in the opportunity to use that.
Yeah, it's actually very popular in all of the speedruns, except the ones that skip Frank entirely to go get that heal. Fun fact, that's a hotel-style heal, so it won't fix any status effects, it doesn't fix death, and he actually checks whether Ness is in your party at the time. If you go there with a dead Ness, he'll complain about Circle of Friends stuff, and how he doesn't believe in it. So, yeah, you go there with a dead Ness and Apollo, he just won't heal you.
Huh! I've never noticed that either.
Yeah, the entire first half of this game, all the way up to about Scramble, they just really check every important NPC, and a lot of the randos check like who's alive at the time and have different dialogue for it.
The more you know. Looks like we got Trillionaire on Giant Step.
Trillionaire. PSI Paralysis Epsilon, not very threatening. That is a scaled down version of PSI Paralysis for when you shouldn't have to deal with the real thing yet. It just gives you the immobilized status, which is a 1-turn paralysis.
It's not bad. Looks like we are going to go ahead and turn in the diamond. Now that will also give us an item for from Venus. Creodor did walk in and go, I don't have money for a movie ticket.
Oh yeah, it's actually, you can get really stuck trying to find money here, because there's nowhere you can sell in Fourside, so you actually have to get stuff out of an ATM, and they have had fights, so it isn't completely nonsense, but if this is the first town you go to, it's like, where do I even get money?
I love it. We'll probably be avoiding Moonside for a little bit. There's nothing pushing directly there. I say that, but we'll watch someone go immediately right there.
It's a good check, like it's relatively quick, but it is just an item check, and they have this double location plus item check here. The location it leads to is a kid check, so I would be expecting that everyone who finds the diamond in this situation is just going to be going straight for that.
Oh yeah.
Falcon hint actually read the hint. It's going to be zombie paper coming from Venus right now.
That's useful later. Maybe not right now per se, but
yeah, you never actually want to have to use it, but you often do.
Yeah.
Of course, everyone's always hoping to just get that teleport straight to Saturn Valley instead of having to do a fairly long dungeon and a long walk up there, and a cutscene.
Right.
Cutscenes. Here's the bus.
There you go. Yeah, it's always sad when you walk up to the graveyard and you're like, oh yeah, I didn't put down the zombie paper at all. And you gotta walk a shame back to the hotel, and it's never a great time.
Absolutely. That's actually one of my favorite things in Scramble, is that you get to use the bus to get into 3 from Fourside. Because the game's logic says that you're allowed to, but of course, it's not programmed for this, so they add that in.
Interesting. Yeah, that makes sense. But I mean, at the same time, it's really kind of a cool idea to have to go back there.
Yeah, it's nice to just be able to take the game's logic at face value instead of having to actually think about black flags. I'm pretty sure that if you do this in vanilla, it crashes right when you get to the ghosts. I think they crash when you take a bus for them, I'm not entirely certain.
I mean, it would make sense.
Yeah, those ghosts are pretty mean about some things. I actually think PK Scramble might crash if you take the Twosome bus into there, too.
So we are going to be able to get a kid check up north in the graveyard. We will have to get kidnapped first, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, I've actually been watching quite a few new runners here, and it seems like a lot of people just really want to avoid that kidnap cutscene and try to find any other way in there. But you do need to get kidnapped. That is the way in.
It's interesting because it's one of those, when you take it at face value of this is a 90s game, you're like, oh, this is weirdly dark. But in Scramble, it's like, all right, cool. It's an interesting, like, half input stop. We do have police check on unknown, though. And we do have mini barf.
That's interesting. I would have really expected this prioritized diamond check like Creodor's doing.
It's not a bad... I mean, Tucson's not a bad place to be, specifically.
No, definitely not. I expect them both to do this check. Like, we're early enough in the game that we're not going to be skipping checks. But getting that early kid check is usually just useful because you have more inventory space and firepower.
Truth. Tended crowd on Jeff, so that may be a point to push creodor into the underworld.
Yeah, early tender crowd, it's a teleport check. It's a fast teleport check. I would be picking that up. When I run these, I like to do all of the just like no combat, super fast checks in a row and see what that is. And then hopefully that leads to some kid checks or some easily accessible presents, and then you can use those to bash your way through all the combat checks you skipped. Software in chat's asking what the diamond allows. It allows you to free the runway 5 in Foreside, which gives you two things in PK Scramble. One is a bus, courtesy of the runway 5, that gets past the ghosts in Threed, and the second is that it lets Venus do her show, and she just gives you some item. In vanilla, there's a whole lot of plot flags between those 2 points, and you have to sit through 3 shows. Scramble just abridges that to Venus shows up at the end of their cutscene.
Gotta love it. There's nothing more sad, because I have done the boogie percent stuff. There's nothing worse than getting caught in the cutscenes, and you're like, alright, cool. I have to sit here and watch this now. If you've ever played, you have to do like the first cutscene. You're like, I'm so far behind.
In Ancient Cave, it's like you just walk into a door and boom, this cutscene, which is like this trolley rite of passage over in that rando. But what you really want is to remember what door that is and to try to route it so you don't end up having to go through it multiple times.
Yeah. Creodor did take a death to the police station, and unknown is going to go ahead and pick up some rats.
Those rats are useful. Yeah, those police were some sort of lava thing. I didn't catch their names, but they looked quite mean.
Yeah. And saying the lack of sandlot bat is really hurting Creodor. Agreed. Gotta have that heavy hitter.
Yeah, the Sandlot Bat is like the premier early game bat. You can usually find that before having to do too much. So that's like actual fighting.
So now here's the question: unknown. It looks like they're posturing to go do Apple Kid, right?
Sure looks like it. Yeah, there's picking up money and food.
Now, do you risk the? Look like they had some food. I was gonna say, do you risk getting the egg? Because I know some runners who will go pick up the egg in the park and then go feed Apple Kid. And there is that technical risk of we could be hatching a chicken.
I mean, I'm gonna claim that there's a risk every single time that someone does it, but it is an actual timer and not a random chance. So unless they get really distracted, it's not a real risk. Don't tell me that, though. I'm gonna pretend that people are gonna accidentally hatch a chicken in the middle of it. It is kind of funny to me that people are doing it, though, because I'm almost certain that the condiment vendor is just a faster way to do it if you talk to him from behind.
There you go. Looks like Boogie Tent was a giant rat. So we've got some pocket rats. We've been fighting some rats. And we get the eraser.
Smell a rat. Whoever gave us that eraser.
Not a great item. Like, not a great item to begin with at all. A bridge dungeons does make it a little bit more bearable, but
it is actually technically not even randomized to get the eraser from a rat.
That's accurate. That's accurate, even. But even not having winters, super unhelpful. So it's just inventory space. Now, in before they get winters right here.
That'd be nice. So, a question from chat: what do you need to do to unlock Gygus? So, the basic idea behind PK Scramble is it's key item randomizer, key item locations are shuffled, character joins are shuffled, and certain places where you would get major plot things or people talking about Ness's psychic journey will give you teleports. So, you just saw that the Talking Rock gave us winters, just as Derek suggested. You use all of those to kind of figure out how to get through the game. And you have to, by default, beat a certain number of sanctuaries, and then go to the Cave of the Past in the present using the meteorite piece in Saturn Valley, and bring Paula, and then you can go beat Gygus. This is race percent, so the number of sanctuaries is 4, so that's 4 sanctuaries. Go to Saturn Valley, turn in the meteorite piece, bring Paula, go fight Gygus. But we also have the alternate win conditions flags enabled, so you could also do 5 sanctuaries and go beat Magicant, or you could do 6 sanctuaries and you just win instantly.
Yeah. I will say in the flag settings, if you go generate your own seed, you can also select, like, hey, I only want to do 2 sanctuaries or 3 sanctuaries. You can choose up to from 2 to 8. So if you want a really short seed, you can do 2. If you want to do the full gambit, you can go 8 as well. So it's really, it really lets you decide how long you kind of want to play.
Yeah, you can do the 2 sank no Gygus seeds. Those are fun. This is just like, you just start settling it, and it's like, you won!
There you go. We have not, you're right there, and we have not seen the 6th sanctuary check, the 6th sanctuary win. We have seen plenty of 5, but no 6s.
Yeah, it's been actually pretty interesting, because I remember we were discussing it right before I implemented it. We were like, oh, does it really make sense for it to be 6? Maybe it should be 7. We all kind of got the wrong guess there. And then, right when it came out, we were seeing, like, every seed Gygus was fastest. But it's been evening out. I think it's maybe 50-50. Gygus versus Magicant. There's a good number of Magicant seeds, or maybe it's like 60% Gygus. And we've seen a couple of seeds that look like they could be 6 sank as fastest, but I haven't seen any of them in a race. I haven't seen it pan out yet. I'm hoping it happens at least once this tournament.
I did it in qualifiers.
There you go.
Which, for definition, does explain why I am not in the tournament. 6 sanks is definitely not the fastest, but if you think you have it, you think you have it. I thought I did, and it was fun. I enjoyed it, and you know what? You got to do what you feel, right?
Absolutely. We had a seed recently where it was like 5 sank Magicant, and nobody even had access to Gygus yet. It was in Early X versus Sarah's race. So I could definitely see a seed like that is just a step away from 6 sank being fastest.
True. So we do have creodor having Fire Springs, and Unknown has the Giant Steps. They're at 1-1, and looks like they're tying it up just a little bit. But where creodor goes next is going. I think it's going to be a little bit key.
A little bit key.
A little bit key, exactly.
It's actually not the name of a key. They have so many different keys in this game. Actually, removed one. People don't even notice.
The number of times I've confused the shack key and the cabin key is embarrassingly high.
I wish there was something I could do about that, too, because I've actually seen a handful of new runners just get horribly stuck when they confuse the 2 of them. Removed from PK Scramble is actually the tower key, which, when I was planning out the randomizer, I forgot existed. But then when I got to that point in the rando, I was like, wait, it would just really stink if this item was in the game, so I removed it.
Fair. Okay, so I think I missed it. How did we get Happy Happy?
Happy Happy was the Lost Underworld rock teleport.
Oh, I thought that was Winters.
I think I
thought
said
that
it was Winters because I was being a commentator.
Hey, and the carrot key is not bad. We're still waiting on a Dalam check as well. So, shed some light on the cabin differences. Okay, so cabin is in what is Peaceful Restful Valley adjacent to Happy Happy Village and is part of the cultists. The shack is the entertainer's shack in Onet.
The carrot is the pink cloud one.
Truth.
The bent is the one that you get in Winters, which is removed from Scramble.
Oh god, I forgot about the bent key!
The tower key is the one that you get to get into Dungeon Man, which is removed from Scramble.
So, Miri, you had asked about shed and cabin, and I think you got an ad right before I explained it. So, cabin is in Peaceful Restful Valley, adjacent to Happy Happy Village, and it is the cultist's prisoner. And the shack is the entertainer's shack that is the sanctuary in Onet. So one is sanctuary, another one is a child check. So it looked like creodor checked the mole and went, no, thank you, not today.
Mole, thank you.
Water bills, gross.
Yeah, water bills can just become a completely dead item if you have any way into 3. It's not useful for anything else.
Right. Looks like we do have the moonside check. So interesting. We still have to see the arcade fight for creodor, as well as the 2 sanctuaries that they have access to. Now, prioritizing sanctuaries at this moment may not be specifically on the play, because they provide you no progress. They give you sanctuaries, which you need to get to Gygus, but they will not get you to Gygus.
Yeah, if it's not one of the sanctuaries that happens to get you something else, I think it's best to either get it because you need levels, get it because you just need a moment to remember what you're doing and pick your next check, or if you don't have one of those, just put it off because you'll probably get that sanctuary faster later.
Agreed.
Yeah, Earthbound
Nothing
does
feels-
have split experience. I don't really have much to add to that. If you have all your kids dead at the end of a match, it'll divide by 0 and then crash the game.
I think I've done that once, actually.
Yeah, so it divides by 0 and returns max short, which is, or maybe it's max long, I don't know, it's some huge number, which the game actually handles fine, and then it tries to print that number, and then it overflows a bunch of variables because the number is too long and destroys the text system.
We have a heavily armored Jeff for creodor with the heavy bazooka. So, Jeff's done. Jeff's progress, his equipment, he'll need some defense, but at a certain point, don't bother getting him a new gun. Just give him the bazooka, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, the bazooka is very good. If you do get one of his top tier weapons, you'll probably be doing better. It's hard to tell because they have different damage formulas. And of course, if you do find big bottle rockets, or somehow find multi-bottle rockets, those are stronger.
True. We got the department store spook, and we have a Frank fight up for unknown. So it looks like unknown's going to go for the Saturn Valley check.
Have they picked up either of the items that you need to actually do stuff in Saturn Valley, or is unknown just...
No. I think they're just going for the hint.
It does make sense. So there's a hint to where the meteorite piece is. If you're going to do Gygus, it is required. And going to Saturn Valley is required if you're going to do a Gygus. And so this is just something you're going to have to knock out. There is a risk, though, that someone will give you the teleport to Saturn Valley and this whole hike is wasted.
It's terrible when Saturn Valley gives you the Saturn Valley warp. You're like, thanks, I appreciate it.
It feels like it always does. There's 2 different teleport checks in there, so it's 2 different chances to get trolled.
So it does look like, it looks like our progress. Where are we? I'm looking at it, going, where is our progress specifically? Because we just got Tiny Ruby from Moonside.
Yeah, that's not terribly useful. I don't think either of them have checked the mines, though, so that could easily be it.
Mines was Water Bills.
Never mind. I heard you mention the water bills, but I was going off on a completely different screen doing tech stuff. What have they missed?
What was Apple Kid? Did I? No, Water Bills. Never mind. Right.
Wow. Wow, Aurelia. Wow. Oh, it looks like they actually did have the meteorite piece, and that was a teleport to something.
That would have had to have been Everdred then. Okay, that makes sense. Right, I completely missed that. I have no idea how I missed that at all.
It's very easy to miss these things when you're looking at 2 things on chat, and also just everything that you say when you're commentating, I feel, is just completely forgotten as soon as you finish saying it.
The vanilla bubblegum, though, we can say that that's pretty good.
I don't know how I feel about vanilla bubblegum. Like, it doesn't seem like it would be a very good flavor.
It's probably stale. It's probably worse, actually. It's probably fruit stripe gum.
I mean, that's a classic. Not a very good flavor, but a classic.
It's a great flavor for about 15 seconds.
Yes. Yeah, the fruit flavored bubblegums always are the ones that go away instantly.
Eraser required? Potentially.
They do have that eraser, and if they just got the bubblegum, then that's 2 checks. It's not checks people want to see, but it is 2 checks.
Nest Rocker, you are right. Unown has a very nice Nest PowerPoints. Good eye. Looks like creodor did finish up with the police station, so he'll probably be going getting the Everdred, he'll be going getting the meteorite piece as well.
Yeah, Everdred to meteorite piece to Star Master to Winters to Bubblegum to finding out you have to do all of Winters. If we pieced all of this together correctly. Unown's going to be getting the Happy teleport. Looks like it hasn't been done on the right-hand side of the screen yet.
Nope, not yet. Okay.
Getting some impressive frame drops from Unown. Very nice, glitchy looking overworld over there.
It's the dust in the cartridge. Gotta clean it off.
You gotta remember to blow that off. I'm gonna have to add that to the post that we tell everyone before they ready up for a race. You gotta blow out that cartridge.
I think even though specifically instructions say no.
Yeah, blowing out your cartridge does not actually do anything. Taking it out and plugging it back in does, though, so... because you'll probably plug it in better when you're paying more attention.
Truth. You know what? I would like to correct myself. Earlier had said that Ness Rocker had said about the nice, and it was indeed Mad Cat, so correction on my point. Congratulations. I'll give credit where credit's due. In our heart, we can all claim that we said it first. So that does justify the zombie paper that Unown done that we were sitting there and wondering. Maybe it's just for the hint.
Yeah,
turns out meteorite piece.
It looks like this is going to be converging, and they're both going to be doing the checks that the other one did, that the first one didn't, vice versa, swippy swappy. Because we have Creodor going up to do Siren Valley and Unknown doing all this Lost Underworld stuff. Both of them have already done the other one of these checks. Both of them are going to find out that that's not enough, and they're going to be converging probably on the Winter's checks.
True.
That doesn't mean everyone's going to have lots of time to think about what their favorite MS Paint Beast emote is, and to get those ready, because whenever we converge, we're heading over there.
It's true. I personally, I don't when it's used the modified channel points of flipping Tessie, so it looks like we have some conversing Tessies.
Is that what those Tessies are doing?
Yes. For legal reasons, I have to say yes.
Legalized Tessie marriage.
Agreed.
Yeah, so we have the 3-tunnel. Creodor's trying to stutter these hieroglyph snakes and not have to deal with whatever they are. We're getting deeper into the seed, so these generated enemies are going to start actually having some teeth to them. As I mentioned at the start, they do start out with all bashing all the time, nothing really scary. Actually, these might be from their first trip to 3, still easy enemies. But when they get into the cave and these deeper sanctuaries, they're going to have PSI and stuff like that. Orleix pointing out that sometimes generated enemies are jerks from the start. So, generated enemies have like a point budget for how mean their moves can be, and all enemies in Earthbound have four move slots with several caveats and asterisks to that. But they have 4 move slots, so it is possible that the random enemy generator gives them like 3 wasted turns and a nasty attack instead of just a bunch of nice stuff. And it is possible that Earthbound's AI just randomly chooses the nasty attack every single time.
I mean, it's inevitable. Alright, Unknown's meme. What are we going to see?
Bring us a good one. Oh, it's about birds. I always like memes about birds.
Birds aren't real? Yep.
Oh no! But I like birds. You can't tell me this. Can Unknown find the L? Unknown found the L. Alright.
You heard it here, folks. Birds aren't real.
Absolute tragedy. Wait, Finland's a bird? Morning. Shocking things from chat here.
Oh, I think... No, it's because there's a plus or minus on the survey census. And technically, Finland has a low enough population that technically the margin of error overlaps the entire population. So technically, it may have 0 population.
I think someone's computing their margin of error pretty poorly.
Shh, 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 shh.
Wait, Falcon Hit's paying enough attention to logic to know whether or not this is a 6th tank. We haven't
Could
found
happen.
Paula.
It's not. It's not implausible.
So, what sanctuaries do we have? We have Giant Step, Lilliput. They're gonna have Pond Cave.
They don't have Lilliput. I don't believe they have Lilliput because
Yes.
they don't have Jar of Fly Honey.
Lilliput's Happy Happy.
You're right.
That's odd. I always get Milky Well and Rainy Circle mixed up, not those. But yeah, so they're gonna have Rainy Circle. So they have 4 sanctuaries access that I can count.
Yeah, I believe so. Looking at my tracker as well, yes. Getting the Lilliput and Milky Well mixed up. Starman Deluxe, though, is not one you want to see.
Oh, very interesting palette on that fish, man.
It looks like it belongs in the Halloween hack. Well, Starman Deluxe didn't provide too big of a challenge there, so that's not too bad. Looks like he's out of SpongeBob. I'll take your word, I have never seen a full episode of SpongeBob.
Shocking. Neither way. And creodor is the first winters, which might mean the creodor is ahead.
I think Unknown got the pack of bubblegum and then dipped and said, "No, thank you, not today."
Yeah, I meant the first to actually go do winters.
My bad.
Yeah, I'm skipping ahead, reading the logic. See, Unknown is doing the cultist headquarters. Did Unknown find a fragment bench, or is this just for the items?
They might be just going for the items.
Alright, everyone, get your MS Paint emotes, or sorry, MS Paint Beast emotes or puns ready. Here comes Tessie.
There you go.
I cannot say MS Paint Beast.
Not today, huh?
Alright.
I would also like to point out, while we're doing this check, be sure to follow our runners. They're providing some excellent entertainment and showing some really high levels of skill. So be sure to follow them, as well as be sure to follow Tomar, the developer of the Scramble.
I stream like every 3 months, generously. I'm told it's a good stream, but not very often. Derek GNC here does stream quite a bit of Earthbound content, so go ahead and follow him too if you like the sound of his voice.
I do. It's like the only thing I do.
Hoping Tessie was randomized. What could I possibly randomize Tessie to that would be more majestic than what you see right there?
Randomized palette.
It's really hard to randomize overworld palettes, but it's a good idea.
I like it.
Yeah, overworld sprite palettes with Coral Snake are just a real pain.
Yeah.
Retrofile has a very good idea. Just randomize the facial expression.
Ooh, randomized facial expression. I feel like would be cursed.
Yeah. You hold on the commentary for a second. Let me go add that to the note stock.
Can do. We were fighting some taxis in the Brick Road Cave, so that would be we're having to fight some indoor taxis. Got Tessies with angry eyebrows, mute city themes, flames shooting out. Wow, are we playing F-Zero? I agree, that would be actually kind of amusingly funny, so I can't argue there. The hat idea. Can we put a top hat and monocle on Tessie?
Probably. I've done it to a monkey.
I'm here for it. So creodor is going to go into Pond Cave, go and find their sanctuary. Depending upon how rough this the despawning and the enemies are here, potentially could see a go heal at the lab, check the lab rat, and then double back for the sanctuary. Just depends upon how rough the enemies are in here. You catch a bad despawn, or you catch a bad spawn, and it might be worth it. There you go. Creodor's in the last room of Pond Cave. Spawns are a little rough today.
Yeah, Pond Cave is... It's interesting. I see a lot of speedrunners who just complain about Pond Cave and how terrible it is. And as like a casual player, it never bothered me. But yeah, it's actually kind of infamous in speedruns of just being a really annoying cave.
I know in Boogie percent, I think it's mostly just because at this point you are so close to the end and you are just waiting for that dot done that it's like, oh, I have to despawn like 1,000 enemies. Any minute now it's going to happen, and I think it's just that sentiment. At least I know I had that sentiment a lot.
That makes sense. And it's Jeff who you take no levels, except for, I think you get 1 off of the protoplasm. So Jeff is very weak. You don't want to take any of those fights.
There you go. Creodor with the Pond Cave, but Unknown right behind. Ooh, the pond smells like Doritos.
Delicious. That's what we need. Is we're gonna have to make scratch and sniff stickers, but they're gonna be randomized because of the PK Scramble scratch and sniff stickers, so we can find out this seed, the pond cave, smelled like Doritos.
I feel like that would be terrible. Ooh, yogurt dispenser for the lab rat.
That's a very good item. That leads to a kid and a item. You don't want to have a really good item show up right when you get here, and you have a eraser though. Well, we've got a meme check. That logic is the meme. All right, that's not quite as good as Unknown's meme, but I'll still allow it.
It's better than A. Which I will, if I'm in a mood, I will just put just a single letter.
You put a single letter A, your run's invalid.
Either that, or I'll put like stupid things like subscribe or follow or things like that.
Yeah, Softnum in chat's asking if meme is a tiebreaker. I will insinuate that I'm going to disqualify you if you put in a bad meme, but it is not actually required, and you will not be disqualified for your poor meme choice at any point. If we do have a tie, we actually just go to retime it down to the frame if we have to.
I will say, putting a good meme makes you the people's champion in each seed.
It's true. Good meme, good flavor choice, good kid names. Everyone likes to see it. So this is the abridged Stonehenge. For anyone who's new to PK Scramble, there is a flag in it that makes Stonehenge and Mole Cave shorter. The shortened Stonehenge just merges all of these purple rooms into one, and then the rest of Stonehenge is the same. The shortened version of Mole Cave is a little more complicated, but you mostly just can pick up how shortened Mole Cave works just when you look at it the first time. It makes sense.
Yeah, I will say, abridged Stonehenge makes it a touch more bearable. Still not a huge fan of Stonehenge, arguably.
Oh no, I don't think anyone's a fan of it. It does not. It doesn't move it up the tier list. It's still the worst dungeon. It is significantly improved and still quite bad.
So, Softnum, sometimes stuttering doesn't work on all enemies. It just depends upon their movement AI. But also, there is the idea of you can stutter past an enemy, but if you have to backtrack to stutter away from the enemy after them, you could be stuck between a rock and a hard place. And then you have to really make a decision on who you want to try and go.
Yeah, stuttering is also just tricky. So, actually, in this flag set specifically, you're probably going to have a stutterable enemy standing next to a non-stutterable enemy, which is very tough. But the way the stuttering works is that enemies only check whether you're moving. I think it's every 8 frames. It might be every 4 frames. So if you're not moving on the specific frame it checks, it doesn't move. But even if you're a perfect stutterer, you could end up every one of your stutter presses being on the frame it's checking, and you just have a perfect anti-stutter. And then you have to like back off and realize you did it very quickly. So there's a lot of skill to it and luck management, and it just can be rough.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Mad Cat says Dungeon Man always gets you confused. I like Dungeon Man a lot more. I think once you get, it's one of those things, like for me especially, like once you get into knowing which specific rope you need to climb up in Dungeon Man, like the rest of it is not too bad.
Should randomize this.
Wow.
Yeah, the only other dungeon I think people really dislike is Monkey Cave, which if you actually know everything in it is pretty quick, but a lot of people dislike Monkey Cave, and Logic doesn't tend to give it to you that often, so you end up getting rusty at it.
Fair. I like Monkey Cave. If you don't quote Spider-Man 2 when you go into Monkey Cave, is it worth it?
Huh?
Where you give the monkey pizza and he goes, "Pizza time."
I thought that was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
No, it's it arguably could. I just know it from the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man where he puts the pizza on the counter like, "Pizza time." UFO engine at the Stonehenge base, so that will definitely bring us to Summers.
Yeah, so Summers has a teleport in it, and they already have that tiny ruby, so that's also going to be a key item. But we still haven't gotten Paula, or actually we have the yogurt dispensers. That's probably Paula.
Yeah. Now, the question is, do you go ahead and go grab Paula now, or do you do Summers first, just in case you get the hieroglyph copy?
I think I would.
At Monotoli.
Oh, I would just always do Paula first. If you get that hieroglyph copy, you're probably still gonna do the rest of the summer stuff, so you're really just gonna be saving like a handful of seconds to get to that boat faster.
Fair.
Monotoli is also it's a double. It's a kid and item.
True.
Both Pooh and Paula will lead to an item as well at this point. Because Pooh starts at 1 and Paula can unlock Everdread. This is a very dense check. It is a long dungeon up there. The exit mouse helps a lot, but there's all those elevators and stuff, so it's a slow check.
True.
Barf is not bottle rocket resistant. So bottle rockets are speed based, so only enemies with super high speed are really resistant to it. Clumsy Robot has extremely high speed, basically useless on him. Gygus has an extremely high speed, so like phase 2 plus Gygus it doesn't work on. Of course, phase 1 Gygus it doesn't work on. And then Heavily Armed Pokey actually has a pretty high speed. Of course, people do use multi-bottle rockets on him successfully. It's not an incredibly high speed, it's just pretty high.
There you go. Looks like Creodor's going to get Giant Step. No problem. That was, I think, logically like 2 or 3, if I remember correctly.
We'll find out in a second. First.
It's wrong completely. So there'll be no problem with the Trillion Age Sprout.
No, not at all. It looks like there's no PP, but also just 2 bashes solved it, so no problem.
Yeah.
Alright, Unknown's doing that UFO engine. So taking your pick, not to the Monotoli. I definitely would go Monotoli here. Getting those kid checks makes sense to me.
True. I mean, I think there's... Well, I think Unknown might be going for not 4, might be trying to go for 5, because they have all of the same accesses as Creodor,
So
and
they're both at Force Sank plus Saturn Valley plus Meteor, so it's just a Paula hunt, right?
at this point, yeah,
Yeah. So
because
Paula or a Sanctuary would both get them going. So key item check would be good. Tiny Ruby check is very, very fast. I don't think there's actually much that they could get out of teleport at this point, though.
I mean, maybe Dalam. Looks like Creodor is going to do the Summers check. I don't believe that Creodor has done Happy Happy, which it looked like they were debating doing Happy Happy, but decided against it.
You're right about Dalam. I kind of just assume that people have Dalam this deep into the seed because of how much Scramble likes to just make the first teleport be Dalam. Andwire and Jazz pointing out that Dalam would be an immediate 5th Sank, so it does kind of make sense to go do Summers. I have been persuaded.
And it did look like Creodor did get the slow butterfly.
The slow butterfly. I'm hoping that Tiny Ruby is Sign Banana and that Magic Cake is Dalam, so that we can finally have that 6 Sanctuary finish.
That would be a great... that would be great, honestly.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see one of those.
The Platinum Bands in the shop, not bad. Not bad at all.
Good to get them in this shop and not the one that charges twice as much.
True. Okay, so Falcon's hoping that Tiny Ruby is Jar, Fly Honey, and Saturn T is Dalam. Okay.
We have a lot of options for this to just pop open. It's interesting. Some of the like immediate fetch quest dead checks have already been done, so there's a lot of ways that it can't just be something useless here. Though, of course, the teleport can always be useless. It can just be Tucson or something.
Deep Dark.
Deep Dark? I mean, if Tiny Ruby is Hawkeye, then maybe.
That would be trolly. Yeah, I mean, but also we could be looking at Monotoli could also have Pooh. So we could be having to... There's Tucson.
There's that Tucson. Told ya, son.
The magic cake was it was not great.
Did you catch what the Tiny Ruby was? Did Unknown just skip it?
I think so.
Interesting. Well, we'll find out in a second. Unknown is going for the Monotoli building. Could be a mistake if this ends up being a good Ruby.
Falcon points out Tiny Ruby was Moonside, so they haven't done it.
The ability to pay attention. What an amazing ability.
Ooh, monkey invitation.
Thank you for the subscriptions, everyone. It goes to helping keep the Earthbound Super Series channel running. It's always nice to be able to preserve runs and stuff for the Earthbound speedruns community.
Agreed. So Monkey is, at this point, is actually remarkably useless unless Monotoli has Pencil Eraser, but at that point it's...
That'd be wonderful.
You have to really ask yourself some questions.
I hope it's Flying Man and Pencil Eraser. That'd be great.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is if Monotoli is Pencil Eraser, that would be trolly, but I'm here for it.
Yeah, well, it's gotta be a useless kid, too, so that we have to go do Monkey Cave. I think we need a Monkey Cave.
Right. Creodor is gonna go do their Lilliput steps.
They keep finding sanctuaries that I would have sworn that they'd done by now, but I guess we have to see every sanctuary twice because it's 2 runners, right?
It's true. Although theoretically there is a universe in which they do different sanctuaries because there is enough of that. Frankenstein and Monotoli. Gross. Not bad. Its AI is exploitable, but
It's appropriate that it's like clank whir when it attacks you. And we have found Pula. That is go mode. Maybe Monotoli will give us an alternative go mode though. It's
Pencil Eraser.
Let's go do Monkey Cave, everyone. It's obviously the play. Come on.
Get your shopping list ready for the desert.
Looks like Unknown is instead going to be doing shopping in Saturn Valley. At least I hope so. Gotta go pick up those good items that you can get in the fourth Saturn shop. I'm assuming that Unknown's done 4 sanctuaries. In which case Unknown is substantially ahead of Creodor.
You know what? I think they might be, actually. Yeah, they've done Lilliput already. They've done Giant Step, Lilliput. They've done Giant Step, Lilliput, Rainy Circle, and Fire Spring. They've got 4 Saints, and they've got Paula. Unknowns in go mode.
Very nice. So we should start getting in our guesses for who the Gygas assistant is gonna be. It can't be any previously seen boss, it can't be Carbon Dog, Diamond Dog, and it can't be Ness's Nightmare. But any other boss in the game, it can't be Gygas. Any other boss in the game, it could be. So get your guesses in.
Man. There's actually a lot of cool hype bosses it could be. Speaking of hype, thank you for the hype train, everybody.
Have we seen Frank yet? Because I'm thinking
We have. He was Saturn Valley Cave. 3 Saturn Valley Cave.
How about Junior?
Could be Junior.
All right,
could.
I'm gonna bet Junior. That's a horrible choice of boss to get there, but I'm gonna bet on it.
I am gonna go. Man, I'm gonna go Everdread. Third best rat, the Plague Rat of Doom, is already down. Unfortunately, Frank is down. I try to keep a list of all the bosses that we faced before, and it never goes quite as well as I really hope, but you know, it's an effort is made, right? Looks like creodor is going to go 2-4 side, pick up Paula, and probably immediately jet off to Saturn Valley. So it looks like Unknown is going to get to Cave of the Past roughly around the 54:05. Super close. Ooh, Electrospectre is rough. Now remember, this flag set has no repel sandwiches, so we are despawning and trying to avoid all enemies as much as possible. Jimothy, it's actually Gygus that's the great equalizer. I think that's been the theme for the tournament so far. Gygus is the great equalizer. Ooh, that sprite is hard on the eyes.
That's a wonderful shade of orange. Everyone likes orange.
It's orange? I thought it was red.
We got PSI cheese being used down, and it's appropriate. What does it say its name is?
I thought it was legitimately red.
The General Leviathan.
It's a great name.
For all of your Leviathan needs.
A jar of deli sauce. Oh, thank goodness, right? Drop that. Unfortunately, it looks like unless Unknown has one, which I do believe they do, that Paulette's down.
Retrophile, you're very welcome. Watermelon flavor is a joy that all people should be able to experience.
What's the one that's there's one that's like incredibly harsh on the eyes. It's like really bright purple.
Watermelon flavor is red background with green text.
Ugh.
I don't know about the purple one. There's a few like super dark red ones that are so hard to read, and then of course there's the white ones which are fine, but if you're like in a dark room or something, they're not.
Jimmy,
Monkey Cave might be just wanting to avoid Gygus, might be thinking there are so many different ways that this could turn into a 5-cent. It's just worth it. Could be thinking I'm probably behind and I should just take this option because like if you think your opponent's getting the Gygus before you, you can just bank on them losing the Gygus and try to do something else.
true, and especially with the 100% generated enemies, like Cave of the Past enemies could be what does take us out.
It is.
Because we've had to use 2 life noodles already.
That is a bit of a surprise to me, actually. The enemies in here should be significantly nicer than Cave of the Past enemies. That said, they should be about as bad as Pyramid enemies, which are not, nice.
True. We will be getting the King Banana.
King Banana, another key item that I forgot about while planning out this rando. Probably wouldn't have a monkey invitation if I had remembered that existed.
And it is indeed pizza time.
Pizza time.
Important item in a Monkey Cave has a chance to make a 6-hit. I agree.
That'd be so great. I hope it's something very exciting. We have unknown all the way to the brain room now, so I think this has to be an extremely slow Gygus or a Gygus wipe for creodor to have any chance. That said, Gygus wipes are quite common, so good luck, unknown. Let's find out who this assistant is.
Monkey takes us to Dalam and Franklin Badge for.
Yeah, so that is fifth sync. Also, this means that there's actually a decent chance that Logic picked up that Franklin Badge, and Gygus might be expecting it.
Ooh, that will be scary. Because with 3 kids, that's a 75% hit rate, and that is an incredibly high hit rate.
Yeah. Generally, I like to think of it as just like each of the kid slots has a 25% chance of being hit. So someone's going to get murdered, but it might not be the kid that you care about.
True. Looks like we do have Boogie Assistant. It's teeth time.
Do we have any Boogie guesses in chat, or was Boogie 10th from the Apple of Enlightenment? Did not predict this?
I didn't see it, but that doesn't mean it didn't happen. Falcon, I do see. Falcon said Boogie Tent. As far as I can see, that was the first Boogie Tent.
Well done, Falcon Hint. You outdid the Apple of Enlightenment to this seed.
I actually have been working on a personal command where you can, for some of my stuff, that you can actually guess the assistant. So I think that would, just like the LTTP community has for their canon key. My brain, halfway through that sentence, my brain went, I'm going to stop here.
I've felt like that many times in this commentary session.
What is the best assistant? Do you think there is a best assistant?
Best for who?
Well, okay. You know what? That's accurate. Best for the viewer? Yeah, Bear Rat was fine.
Bear Rat was right. I would say the easiest ones would be Frankenstein and Guardian General, probably. Any of the melee-only ones are pretty easy. Those two are particularly easy. Everidred's super easy. The roughest ones, anyone with a PSI shield really can hurt. That's Electrospectre, what's his face? Starman Deluxe. Just really nasty. Anyone with a multi-hit PSI, so those two again, and also Starman Jr. can be really tough. And really tough are the two that are banned by default. So there's a flag that we usually have enabled called Safe Boss Placement that stops Diamond Dog and Ness's Nightmare from being here and in the way. You turn that off, you have a chance of seeing one of those. They are very, very good if you get those in the Gygus slot.
So Unknown is actually in the Gygus fight and is pretty far, but I believe they've used their last Horn of Life on Paula. They're on borrowed time at this point.
Uh-oh. Good luck, Unknown. creodor's gonna be pulling off 5th Sank pretty soon. Still has an entire dungeon in the form of Magic Hand to do after this, though.
True. Gygus was definitely putting some smack down. I could have missed a couple revive item in the inventory, but the Gygus seed here is looking rough. It doesn't look like it picked up the Franklin badge, though, so that does help with some pretty extreme air quotes. But we go into phase 3. As creodor is getting ready to round out Pink Cloud. Ooh, taking the wipe there.
That is rough. Unknown is on into the prayer phase.
Let's see some prayer emotes.
Did you say that Unknown had used the last of the revive items?
I do. Last that Ness had. That I see. Yeah. I don't know if Paula has any, but I mean, if Paula's dead, that ain't gonna do Paula any good.
Yeah, Paula having one only helps if Pooh has two.
Okay, Paula has nothing. Okay.
Alright. The Hitman prayed for Ewan and his friends. Remember everyone to consult your local Hitman whenever you're stuck, especially if you're new to Scramble.
Agreed.
Scramble does get a commission from the Hitman Association of England.
Now, here's the question for you. As the developer, what is your favorite prayer sequence?
Honestly, just the fact that we have this is amazing. So we have incredibly talented assembly maker who goes by creodor who did just some unbelievable stuff to make this possible. The game engine does not normally support there being overworld sprites in a battle scene like this. He put that together, allowing this thing, which in turn allowed me to randomize these. So, huge shoutouts to Cooprox. Yeah, I don't think I really have a favorite so much as just being so glad that that exists.
Agreed. Looks like Dalam was flying in, so we got Buff Bird. We are good to see it. Looks like Unknown is going to get ready to give their last prayer.
This could be it. The ball is close enough, it might... I can't tell what happened.
It looks like...
just got it,
oh.
Yeah. Unknown is at 0 HP. It does roll up to 1 HP if you get your prayer off there. So Unknown's going to be getting that GG in a minute. I don't think creodor can give the root magic ant in that time, though we have seen some nonsense before. So everyone prepare your GGs, but don't unload them quite yet.
There you go. My personal favorite prayer is the the hospitals are like, they hope they don't get hurt. Too bad.
The Moonside one's good where it's all messed up.
True.
Ness and his friends prayed for however it works. I like the Saturn one where it's in the font and it's short.
JSR, I believe this is just 5 right now.
Yeah, this was number 6, then I would actually be betting on creodor, even though Kygus is busy dying right now.
And killing the bitrate in the process. Unknown has officially finished with the first place time of 1 hour and 6 minutes. GG'd Unknown. Drop those in the chat.
Alright. So
good to
stay
see.
tuned, everyone. We're going to watch creodor play through for a little bit. But we also have another match coming up right after this. I'm going to go ahead and get those runners cropped in. Derek, go ahead and yell at me if I accidentally hide creodor's screen while I do that.
Can do. Looks like creodor did forfeit, though. So they're not going to be finishing it out.
Fair enough. Alright, well, thank you to both of our runners. I'm going to go ahead and see if they want to do some interviews while I go ahead and start in that extra cropping.
There you go. GG's to everyone. Be sure to follow them because they have put on an excellent race. They've provided some excellent entertainment. And be sure to follow Tolmar. I know they don't stream too often, but go ahead and drop them a follow. And if you are so inclined, you can also drop me a follow if you like some more Scramble content. Unknown, creodor, GG, Unknown, congratulations.
Hello, thank you. That was a clutch last prayer.
That was scary.
I was on the edge of my seat.
Creodor, GG, Unknown. So, creodor, Unknown came down to 1 HP for the last prayer. That was
went down to
scary.
0 for a second. It rolled back up.
I was on the edge of my seat.
So, love to see it happen. So, creodor, was you gonna go?
Good job.
Creodor, was you gonna go for a 5 in Magic Ant then, or?
Absolutely.
Okay.
in all of my practices, I consistently COTP without repels, which is just destroying me.
Okay.
And I could handle the Magicant despawns perfectly fine. So, but